Hi, John McGuire with the McGuire Law Firm, and in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what the 4180 interview is in regards to the trust fund recovery penalty process. So, probably first best to go into what is the trust fund. So, first and foremost, to have a trust fund exposure or liability, a business or an entity has to have a 941 or a payroll tax liability to the IRS. The trust fund portion is the amount that's withheld from employee paychecks, and certain individuals within that business can be responsible. Okay, so now that we've crossed off that, the 4180 interview is the interview that the government uses to see who they feel are the willful and responsible parties within the business. So initially, the government will gather as much information as possible. They'll do it internally, they'll do it with other questions and documents they're able to gather. And they get their list of individuals they want to speak with and conduct the 4180 interview. So the interview is generally conducted by the revenue officer, sometimes with their manager. If the taxpayer is represented by counsel, their counsel is or should be present. But the interview primarily goes over, let's talk about knowledge. What knowledge did the taxpayer have that there were tax liabilities to the IRS, that there were payroll tax liabilities that weren't being paid? So they'll ask, when and how did you become aware of the tax liability? What is your role within the business that owes the employment taxes? Then they'll also talk about authority. Okay, did the individual have access to bank records? Are they on signature for the bank account? Do they have the passwords? Do they look at the financial statements, the tax returns? Do they sign the tax returns? So the 4180 interview is kind of like the final piece of the puzzle that the government uses after they've gathered all the information to have that specific time with the individual that they think could be a willful, responsible party and therefore be personally assessed separate from the business, that trust fund portion. So if your business has any payroll tax debts, or if you've been contacted by the IRS to go through that 4180 interview, it's highly recommended you speak with a tax attorney. If you need to reach out to us, please do. Thank you.